Alright, welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classics Non-Classic. This episode number 784 and Doubleshot number 678. I guess in the last episode, two Spider-Man trades. First up, it is Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Volume 4, Collecting Spider-Man, number 234-240. This is, of course, collected to Ultimate Spider-Man. Writing by Brian Michael Bendis, artwork by a few different people. Actually, by one person. It's Oscar Badalzi. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Yeah. You also have Sarah Pacelli and Justin Poozer, who does some artwork as well. Mostly put for the storyline collected in here, it's Miles versus his own Sinister Six, which is comprised of, get this, the Iron Spider, I'll get to him in a minute, who is actually Aaron Davis. Oh, yeah, like I said, I'll get to in a minute. Hobgoblin, the Spot, the mother of Bombshell, the younger one. This is the older one. I'm trying to think, who else was it? Sandman and the female Electro. I'm a little surprised that Bendis doesn't include the female Electro part of the group because, yeah, it's weird though. They even bring us up in another book how somehow she is one of the very few people who actually to survive when all the clones disintegrated. Yeah, her along with a small handful of people who were cloned disintegrated when Spider-Man activated that virus that in Clone Conspiracy. Oh, and what's the Sinister Six doing in here? They out to take out Spider-Man for some reason? No. Aaron Davis hires them to steal a S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier. S.H.I.E.L.D. at this point has been decommissioned thanks to the events of the awfully titled Secret Empire. Or I should say, very stupid event known as Secret Empire, because afterwards they got rid of S.H.I.E.L.D. for no reason. This is by far the second time Marvel has ever done this, and of course they reference it in here. And here's the thing. The S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier is being guarded by the Red Hulk. Now, this is not General Ross. Oh no, this is not General Ross. This is actually the Red Hulk from the U.S. Avengers series. No joke, this is the same guy. This is actually probably by far his one of two appearances he made outside of that particular comic. The only appearance he made outside the comic was actually in No Surrender. So, who does Miles call upon to take down the Sinister Six? He calls upon the Champions. Not a bad idea. Though they had Ironheart join at that point. Of course, she's still part of the group now. And there's a good brawl. And when Luna meets up with Mother, she points out, though, she's supposed to be in jail for 10 years. She probably not been in jail for very long. She just walked out. Yeah, they don't really explain why in here. She just out of prison for some reason. Was she got her release? The book never delved into that. Nope, it never did. Yeah, that was one thing that was asked. Yeah, it's one of the few things this book sets up, but ignores, like, by the time I finished reading this book. Another thing that was never fully explored due to Bendis leaving Marvel to go to DC was Miles becoming a spy. Part of a new spy agency, which they don't give a name, and it's being headed by possibly Cable, which that can happen now because, spoiler for Extermination, Cable's dead. Yeah, Cable got killed off. Though, I wouldn't be surprised if they brought him back some other way because of time travel. Yeah, and Miles, of course, gets to fight with his uncle toward the end of it. He gets up in the hospital. There's also another thing the book never explains. How the heck did Aaron Davis was resurrected? Because last time anybody saw him, well, basically readers-wise, was actually during the Ultimate Universe when he got killed by a year into Spider-Man. Miles' first title he had. When he in that universe, he was known as the Prowler. Yeah, he was the Prowler in the Ultimate Universe, which they reference this actually in Spider-Man Homecoming. Yeah, because he made his first live-action appearance. Also, at one point, that he says that he just woke up one day and just wound up in bed. They never properly explained that. Yeah, like I said, one of two things that the book never explains. Well, at least properly explains, like how Aaron Davis came back to life, or why was the older Bombshell released from jail. The book, oh yeah, and also They bring out the fact Hobgoblin's there because he was highly recommended. Who recommended him? Another thing the book doesn't bother to explain. Yeah, when you first read this book, you're asking yourself, okay, there are several questions. Like I said, how did Aaron Davis come back to life? He doesn't even know. And as far as I know, no one will answer the question because Marvel canceled this title. Yes, they canceled it. They released an anime recently, written by a completely different writer. Yeah, Aaron Davis in Resurrection, that was never explained. Another thing never explained of why was the older female Bombshell released, and it's also implied that Aaron has a thing for who he calls Mama Bombshell, just like how Luna has a thing for Miles. And of course, he never brings this up to the female, brings up Steel at Bombshell. Like another thing, like who recommended Hobgoblin? Oh yeah, and why are they stealing the helicarrier? They want to sell it to, of all people, Baron von Bardas. Yeah, the woman who used to be in charge of Latveria, but she references the events of Secret Empire, which, not Secret Empire, Secret War, which I'm not that surprised that she referenced that, but if you're a new reader, you're thinking, okay, you mentioned about the whole thing of illegal infiltration of the country and opposing her. Here's the thing. There is no editorial about this. The only reason I know about this because I've read Secret War. That came out in 2005, which Bendis wrote himself, and that miniseries was also known for the first appearance of Daisy Johnson. Does this book throw an editorial note there for that? Nope, they never do. I'm like, seriously, Bendis, you couldn't have your editor just write an editor note like, okay, referencing stuff about her country being taken down, like her regime being taken down by an illegal operation. Yeah, as far as I know, like if you read this, there is no editorial note. That's one thing I thought was really disappointing about. Even the trade doesn't bother to include it at all. Even when the issue originally came out, I don't remember any editorial note in there. The story itself is actually really good. As for why so many time members were recruited, in the case of why Aaron Davis decided to put together Sinister Six, well, obviously the steal the helicarrier, that was properly explained. But why he picked these particular people? Well, for Hobgoblin, they say he was highly recommended. The other members, I have no idea. Though I'm thinking that he recruited Sandman because of his previous experience with the Sinister Six. Matter of fact, he's been part of at least 4 different lineups of Sinister Six. He was part of the first 3 lineups and the last known major lineup of Sinister Six. And this is the last Sinister Six show up in the comic book was actually in the Superior Forces of Spider-Man series, where they were the main characters of it. Though the group were reduced to 5 people, but they still call themselves Sinister Six. But the storyline is really good, and they have it to where Miles is in the hospital at the very end. Though they bring us up in Champions several times. Oh yeah, he's still in the hospital. Still in the hospital. I'm like, how long are you going to keep the whole thing of Miles is in the hospital for Champions? But the story itself I thought was really good. Nice way to wrap up the series, but I kind of wish they would have had another writer take over and keep this title going. I'm going to give this book roughly 9.5 out of 10. Who would I recommend it? Well, let's see. I would definitely recommend Mark Waid because he writes Miles to be a pretty interesting character. I would recommend him. I would have also recommended Conway. Probably would love to get a chance to write Spider-Man title. It's not Peter, mind you, but I'm sure he wouldn't mind doing it. But I love the fact that for this particular arc, they have Miles fighting his own Sinister Six, and him having worked with the Champions to take him down was a really interesting idea. Oh yeah, and Lucifer von Bardas recognizing Riri. Yeah, that's not surprising, but that's another thing they should put an editorial note in there for, was that they met before. In another book by Michael Bendis, yeah, in the most recent stuff, it was actually in the second to last arc of Bendis' run for Invincible Iron Man. I kind of wish they would throw an editorial in for that one as well, but they don't. So I read this like, okay, like if you didn't read Invincible Iron Man, you have no idea what this person is talking about. It's kind of the same thing when Lucifer von Bardas brings to the Secret Empire. If you didn't read it, you have no idea what she's talking about. I'm like, why is Marvel so afraid of putting editorial notes on books? I mean, I know Amazing Spider-Man, they occasionally put that in there. And I think they put this in there for, I know they put it in for Spectre Spider-Man. They always put editorial notes in that one, because that's one thing I do enjoy about that book. They put editorial notes in there. Alright. Next up is a book that actually got followed recently with the first arc of Spectre Spider-Man. And that's Amazing Spider-Man Family Business. Written by Mark Waid and James Robinson. With artwork by a few different people. Let's see. Actually, there's two people. There's Gabriel Del Toro and Weather Detoria. I think it's pronounced his name. Yeah, and this is the first appearance of the Kingpin since, at this point, when this trade came out, roughly about 4 years ago. Yeah, this is the original graphic novel. It's only like the third one I've reviewed in this channel. Because I've also reviewed Endless Wartime and I've reviewed Rage of Ultron. But here's the thing about this particular appearance about the Kingpin. This is the first time he's actually made a physical appearance in a comic book. At this point, it had been like a year. Because his last appearance was actually back in Superior Spider number 13 when Shadowland was taken down. Yeah. Though I keep wondering though, even though Daredevil was taken, even though they stopped Daredevil, whatever his plans were, but why couldn't they shut down Shadowland? I'm like, why couldn't the Avengers do it, or Daredevil himself? But they never did. It took basically, Dr. Octopus taking Spider-Man's body for Joyride to do that. And in the story, we have the first appearance of Tessa Parker, aka the sister of Peter Parker. Though, luckily enough, Chet Sardesky does a follow-up to this story in the pages of Peter Parker's Second Spider-Man. Yeah, I'm surprised he actually did. And this is something, now that book came out for last year, so Marvel waited 3 years to follow up with the story. Yeah, they don't officially confirm with this one that Tessa is actually Peter's sister. Sardesky confirms it. Now, start with this one is they have to go to, it's basically a spy story. Yeah. That essentially put what this is a spy story. Robinson has written a spy story before, so at least Wade knew what he knew. At least Robinson knew what he was doing. Wade was probably writing all the spy-related stuff, and Robinson was writing out the spy stuff. It's great the fact we have the Kingpin show up in here, but he's not the only villain that shows up in here. We also appearance by the French villain Cyclone. Yep, Cyclone shows up in here. A little surprised, but yeah. Also, I'm surprised Peter doesn't say to his sister, well, they confirm his sister. I'm surprised to say, you look so beautiful. Because she's wearing this smoking hot dress. And here's Peter wearing a tux. And this is during a period of time when Peter's got his company. Parker Industries. Yeah. They don't reference in here, surprisingly. Despite the fact this came out during a period of time when Parker Industries was around. Parker Industries was only around for about 4 years. From 2013 to about 2017. Yeah. And also during the course of the story, Kingpin finds out that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Though he did kind of find this out prior to One More Day. But, yeah, he's probably by far one of 3 villains who actually know Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Who are there two? Mysterio and Dr. Octopus. And I think maybe the Lizard as well, but they never officially confirm it. But this, of course, is really, really good. I found this to be a really engaging story. I loved it. And I love the fact that Sardesky followed up with this one with the first arc of Peter Parker's Second Spider-Man, like I said. Though Kingpin doesn't show up in that story. But this is possibly Spider-Man's first ever official battle with Kingpin in probably some time. The next official time after this, Peter Parker would Spider-Man fight Kingpin. Well, he had showed up recently a few times in Amazing Spider-Man, because he's in the mayor now, and of course you get a chance to find him making pages of Daredevil, but in the Spider-Man book, after this, no, he doesn't. He never got a chance to fight the Kingpin ever again after this. But this is before he became mayor of New York. Also, they have the somewhat obscure villain. I mean, I know about him because I read his first appearance. Flamentalo. Yep. Let me show you what this guy looks like. Yeah, he's a guy who made his first appearance back in, I think it was Strange Tales 141, as part of a 3-part story. And also because the original Spider suit was wrecked, he had to go with the Black Spider suit for some reason. Yeah, this is him. This is Flem. That's him in that second panel there. Yeah. That's him right there. That's Mensalo. By far, really good story. Highly recommend people who are fans of Spider-Man and, of course, the Kingpin of Crime himself. And I think it was just a couple years ago that he celebrated. Actually, it was last year. He celebrated his 50. He's around for 50 years now. And what does Marvel do to celebrate his anniversary? Give him a short-lived ongoing series. Yep, 9.5 out of 10. This is really good. Alright, so that's really it for this episode. Stay tuned for the next episode where I have 2 more Spider-Man trades coming. You'll find out what they are in the next episode, okay? But to see you there. Bye.